Later, Lamies has a dream reliving a childhood memory of her fishing with Hulime. The engineer is impressed with how she uses her strength to make the fishing process easier. But Lamies complains about how she often breaks things at home. Her parents can only laugh in embarrassment. She soon finds herself in front of Boxo and hugs him. In the real world, she lies against Boxo, mumbling about how she doesn't want him to go away again. Hulime reiterates the reports of how Lamies was looking for Boxo when he was abducted even before going to sleep. The engineer speculates that this incident might have triggered some of her old trauma. Hulime can see that Boxo and Lamies have a special relationship, so she decides to disclose some sensitive information about their past. She mumbles to Boxo while sleeping that they should always be together, and he seconds that. The following day, Hulime informs her childhood friend of her intention to stay in the village for a while. Lamies is happy to hear this and offers to explain anything she doesn't understand about the village. The brute excuses herself as the director has asked her to help with the reconstruction, so she leaves Boxo and Hulime's care. Soon after, they are approached by two of Swarry's bodyguards who alert them that their boss will be coming to make a request. They plead that they readily accept, and Hulime lets them understand that she can't take on the job without knowing the details. They quickly leave when they receive word that Swarry is nearby, but the two beg that she keeps their visit a secret. Shortly after, the girl enters and politely introduces herself after confirming that she is indeed talking to Hulime. Swarry respectfully asks for her assistance, then explains that in the coming days, influential merchant families will gather. A party will be held to publicly unveil their magic items and engineers, so she would like Hulime and Boxo to represent her family. There is a girl named Kanashi from a rival merchant family that has ties to her own. However, she finds the girl annoying and would like to upstage her. After hearing her out, they both decide to help her, and the day of the event arrives. Boxo looks around to find the girl Swarry has such a grudge against. He continues to observe and witnesses the interaction between the two, and it is vicious. The girls begin to roast each other on a high level that Boxo is stunned. Swarry heads back to her table livid and apologizes to the two for that display. Hulime confesses that she finds her display to be amusing. Their attention is drawn to the stage by a ring of the bell. The host starts the event by welcoming everyone and giving the stage to the first participant. The crowd is not impressed with his basic transformation weapon. The others that follow are just as underwhelming, to the point that Hulime sleeps. Things change when Kanashi steps up with their magic item. The girl gives a brief introduction before her engineer unveils it. Everyone gasps in admiration as it is explained that her item is based on a certain monster. Their invention obeys all commands given to it. Hulime stands there in disbelief as she has already figured out how the engineer achieved this. The man boasts about his invention, stating that he has accomplished the dream of many engineers of creating an intelligent magic item. As the magic item continues to dazzle the crowd with its action, Hulime's suspicions manifest as the item malfunctions and speaks. Hulime tries to save the situation by ordering Swarry's guards to apprehend the rough magic item, but they are easily thrown away. It does, however, give her the chance to get behind it. She notices that a magic seal has been placed to keep the soul inside the item, and a brainwashing spell has been cast to restrain the soul's free will. Hulime berates the engineer responsible as she deactivates it. She apologizes for the sacrilege caused as she lays the soul to rest. When the crowd realizes that their savior is the famous Hulime, they begin to bring up some of her past exploits, which gets her a bit embarrassed. With Kanashi's epic failure and all the attention on Hulime, Swarry smugly informs Kanashi that she wins this time around. Boxo watches on and takes this resolution as a success. Winter soon comes after the incident as the snow falls over the village. Manami gathers the village's food vendors for an important meeting. They never imagined this business-ending threat would extend to their doorstep. Unless they take drastic countermeasures, they will all be ruined. The local business must band together to eliminate Chain's Restaurant, a big-time eatery that is going to open a branch in their village. Manami has invited Boxo to this secret meeting as their trump card. The lady gives an anime villain smirk. The vendors continue their complaints about how they have families to look after. After hearing their worries, Manami looks to Boxo to cooperate with them, and they all jump around ecstatic when he agrees to help. But the deal was sweetened with Manami promising to let Lammy stay at the inn for half the price once the repairs are complete. Boxo sees this request as a big responsibility since their livelihood depends on this. The vending machine is sure that he will need the help of Lamies and Halami if he's going to be successful. After a while, the chain restaurant prepares for its grand opening, and there is a giant crowd outside already. The manager of the eatery gives a speech about how delicious, cheap, and convenient their food is. Not really the word synonymous with high-end food. Boxo and the gang arrive to check out the new guys in town. The manager recognizes and welcomes them. He even extends an invitation for them to work together, but they refuse. He arrogantly tells them that in a few months down, they will be the sole eatery in the village when everyone flocks to them. The place finally opens, and the trio enters to sample the food, but when Lamies and Halami eat it, they are not blown away since they have been eating high-quality food from Boxo. The vending machine attributes this to the fact that seasonings are cheap in this world, so everything tastes plain. With all this feedback in mind, he feels like he has figured out a way to beat them. Manami calls the vendors in for their second chain restaurant annihilation meeting. She informs them that this is their only chance to win, as Chains is holding their opening sale. To hold on to their existing customers during this pivotal time, they must produce excellent quality food. To achieve this, they must develop a new menu for their shops. She asks everyone to bring out their trail items. Their meal looks good, so Boxo has Lamies and Halami taste it and give feedback. They enjoy the food but comment on the weak flavor and highlight the other aspects of the dishes that needed improvement. Based on this, Boxo provides the vendors with a meal to taste which they could use as a reference. The vendor enjoys the food and is full of inspiration. After perfecting their new menus, they open shop outside the chain's restaurant and begin to call the people waiting in the long line. The smell of the food coupled with the prospects of getting served quickly incentivizes them to try it out, and they love it. Some bluntly say that it is a lot better than Chains. Boxo watches unhappy and gives his thanks to Lamies and Halami for helping with the sampling of the new menu. The manager of the Chains restaurant rushes, wondering where all the customers went. He looks over to Boxo and blames him for this. He promises to make him pay for these wrongdoings. But his words aged like unrefrigerated milk on a hot summer's day as the vendors' shops continue to flourish like never before, and 1 month later Chain's restaurant completely withdrew from the competition due to plummeting sales. The vendors gather to celebrate their victory. It was so convincing that Boxo is suspecting that there might be more to their withdrawal. As the duo watch the jamboree, Kirwell interrupts them to discuss something. He wants them to join his party on a campaign once winter is over. Boxo quickly declines, which gets Kirwell wondering if he's that unpopular. He pauses his self-wallowing and reminds Boxo that he's a regular customer and he did volunteer to rescue him when he was kidnapped. The vending machine acknowledges this and even points out that with the help of the Menagerie of Fools, Boxo thanks him for the save, and Kirwell takes it as the vending warming up to him. The captain adds that Lamies also must agree for them to join and gives them till the play starts to thaw. Boxo already has his reservations about the party, but he also feels like he must consider how Lamies sees the situation. That evening, she discusses the topic with Hulami, and the engineer informs her that many hunters would be happy at the chance to accompany the Menagerie of Fools. Lamies does want to fight so that she can improve her skills and get stronger. Hulami immediately knows that it is all in the hope of getting revenge for all those that fell during their village attack. Hulami can see that she has a dependable partner in Boxo now, so whatever her decision is, she will have someone to support her. The vending machine responds to show support to that statement. Boxo is moved that she was keeping this pain inside her all this time. Despite this, she has always been kind to him. There is nothing he can say now, but he shows his gratitude by turning into a flower vending machine and giving her one that signifies this. She takes it and is emotional about the gift and promises to treasure it. Lamies informs him that they will be going on their first outing with the Menagerie of Fools the following day. They will be going to check on the crocodile fiends. Hearing this puts Helami on edge a little. She discloses that they are one of the big 3 monster factions that inhabit the cleared low lake level. The day of departure arrives and the party gathers at the front gate. Helami reveals that she has been hired by the Hunters Association since it is an ecological survey. Soon after they set off, they are attacked by some frog fiends, but the party expertly eliminates them. AKA and Shiro are so happy that Boxo is around, which means they don't have to go hunting. Everyone enjoys some food before they continue. Boxo even supplies them with a portable toilet for the trip. The party finally arrives at the crocodile fiend territory, so he asks AKA and Shiro to scout the area. They report back that 30 crocodile fiends are splashing around a small marsh just up ahead. Helami educated them that a typical group ranged from 10 to 50, so 30 is a medium-sized group. She wants to know the height of the monsters, so the duo confirms that they are as tall as them on their hind legs. The magic item engineer notes that they are smaller than usual and speculates that it is the decline in frog fiends. The money-hungry second Felmina sees this as a perfect opportunity to attack while they sense crocodile fiend materials fetch a high price. Captain Kirwell is a little reluctant because they didn't prepare for an assault expedition. Nevertheless, he concedes to the idea. Helemi advises them to avoid attacking at night. These monsters are nocturnal, so they will be more ferocious at that time. Kiriel orders everyone to get some rest. That night, while Helemi and Lames are discussing the upcoming battle, he turns to an ice machine hinting that they should use it. The following day, they place Boxo upstream where he drops the ice in the water, causing the crocodiles to come ashore. Helemi is flabbergasted to see the party being chased by the lord of the level, which is an 8-legged giant crocodile. Lames lays in the wagon unconscious while the others try to hold the lord at bay. Each of its steps causes the ground to split. Kiriel asks Helemi to grab hold of his hand as they approach, but she is reluctant to leave Boxo. The vending machine erects a barrier that pushes her into the wagon, allowing them to escape. All the while, he changes form to a more durable machine. He doubles his durability and increases his toughness. Boxo catches the attention of the giant crocodile and takes a big hit, which drops his points by 1,000. He shoots fried chicken lunches at the lord, which it enjoys so much that it just eats him. While in the belly, he uses stomach cleansing to cause a buildup of gas and shoots a heated item into it, which makes it explode from the inside. The dust settles and Boxo is lying in a crater surrounded by the creature's bones. The others got to safety and saw the explosion. A coin depicting the 8-legged crocodile falls on him, making him wonder if this is the treasure Helemi was talking about. The ground around him suddenly starts to crumble and Boxo free falls into its depths. He thinks fast and produces plenty of balloons. The following day, he adds a solar function that allows him to save points during the day. As he enjoys this new feature, he notices some bear cats getting chased by a few monsters. He camouflages and attacks the monster, making them to flee. The bear cats double back to meet Boxo. They are initially frightened by him, but he wins them over by giving them food. The bear cats decide to take him back to their village, and Boxo equips some wheels to make himself easier to push. As they move, the area boss Skeleton makes an appearance and eliminates some monsters, but it doesn't notice them and leaves without further incident. They proceed forward where they hear fighting ahead, and to Boxo's surprise, it is Lames and the rest of the party who has come to rescue him. The director is also present. He commends the bear cats for helping Boxo and reveals to them that he is a conscious being, to their surprise. They get a little embarrassed that he witnessed all their antics. After they take a break, the director informs Boxo that they also came to defeat the flame skeleton since it is causing trouble for hunters. Kiriel also pleads for Boxo's assistance because the members of the Menagerie of Fools have some dreams they want fulfilled. According to the legend, whoever reaches the lowest level of the dungeon and meets the requirements can have any wish granted. Having a coin from the defeat of a level boss is one of the requirements. The party has 3 now that there are 8 members, but they have 6 wishes. The captain is aware that Boxo has a human soul inside the machine and states that with a wish he can return to a human. Boxo confirms that he got a coin drop from the crocodile boss and decides to join the menagerie to help them on their quest. The next day, everyone enters the maze and they come up with the plan to trap the skeleton inside one of the trap pits, which they will fill with water. They try to set up the trap, but the pit doesn't fill up because it is drainage. Boxo suggests they fill it with ice since it takes longer to melt. The night before the phase-off, he adds dry ice into the pit. The following day, they trap the skeleton inside the pit. Its fire is extinguished, but there is no steam from the evaporation of water. Boxo reveals that the dry ice is carbon dioxide, and in such a confined space, the flames from the monster burned all the oxygen available, which led to its flames dying. The party attacks the Lord, but it doesn't do much damage. Boxo tricks Lames into knocking him inside the pit. He uses his heavy transformation to crush the skeleton. He didn't want anyone to enter the pit, otherwise they would suffocate. He retrieves the coin and uses the balloons and cardboard transformation to get out. Everyone is shocked by his performance, but Lames is not impressed. Kiriel tries to claim the coin, but Helemi puts him in his place, so he buys it from Boxo for 100 gold coins. Everyone heads out the labyrinth happy with the result.